Greetings, dear friends. Welcome to the Creative Lab, Awakening the Souls of Our Nations. I'm honored to welcome you on behalf of the 2025 initiative, the Hekal Group from Jerusalem and Clanchali Group from Germany. We meet today on the day of the Pisces Festival, gathering in our council chamber in direct alignment with the spiritual hierarchy. Thank you for joining us. Before we start our work, I want to bring your attention that if English is not your native language, we enable the function of automatic translation, which you can activate on your control panel by choosing your preferred language. Please note to choose your language that you also would use if you would like to share your thoughts during our meeting. Over to you, Uta.
Okay, thank you. And greetings to all on this Pisces full moon. Since our last meeting, the world has changed considerably. We have now a regional war in West Asia along the West-East tension line with Israel and the USA and Iran. And of course, we will feel this tension in our work today, especially as our focus is today on the United States of America. So let us include it, contain it, while keeping our higher point of focus we are in the council chamber of elders in training, so we will be impartially and humbly aware of the current affairs and yet working from our council chamber. Before we will turn our eyes to the USA, let's spend a few minutes of review of seeing where we are, where we have been, where we come from, and what is our present research focus in the Nations Lab. We are in the last year or so engaged in learning to build what we call Christ avenues, lines of descent, vertical channels in our consciousness and in subtle matter, through which synthesis energy can flow into our nations and into the planet, into the human family. We are learning together what DK calls the principle of directed purpose. We're learning to direct synthesis energy to specific practical issues or locations or events. So we do this from our council chamber of elders in training, which is our high vibrational workspace for this work with nations. It's a lab and it's also a temple, a sacred space. And we learn to maintain and fine-tune this high vibrational focus point in the subtle world and utilize it for co-creative directive work. So this is the ground on which we stand in the Nations Lab. And within this wider context of working with synthesis energy, we have now embarked on a new series of synthetic snapshots presented by the participating groups. And this gives us the opportunity to experience, to get to know and experiment with different methodologies, learning from each other. And this, of course, is also part of the ongoing intergroup experiment in the world group. One skill that stands out that we are presently learning in this intergroup cooperation is holding a balance between what in our group and in our intergroup work is stable, relatively constant, and what is variable, so that we work as an organism, an intergroup organism, which is both coherent and at the same time to allow for continuous evolving new impulses from each other. It's a fine balance. Okay, so last month we had the German group, the Klangschale group, giving us a synthetic snapshot. We learned about the group's subjective workspace, which is called the Peace Ministry, and how synthesis energy is received into it. And then how synthesis energy from there is directed into the German sphere, German consciousness, focusing it into the vision of Germany as a peace-weaving force in the heart of Europe. That is our purpose at the moment, the vision that we hold. And then also how this synthesis energy is anchored physically. And we do it in the Klangschale group with pyrite magnets, little stones, which we planted in different locations throughout Germany. So last month in the Nations Lab, we had a taste of the Klangschale meditation. We traced the full heart line of descent from Sirius through the avatar of synthesis and the Christ, all the way down into the German psyche and the German land. So just to hold a continuity of what we have already experienced. And today we will be working with the USA. And the group will take us into their work, which is different. And becoming aware of each other's work methods is very valuable. It's kind of cross-pollinating. We learn from each other and we become aware of how we complement each other also. In the last session's sharing, we had a beautiful moment when the group that is working with the UN suggested a resonance between the magnets that are planted in Germany and the huge iron block, the large magnet that sits in the meditation room of the UN headquarters in New York, right under the General Assembly Hall. And I would like to share another beautiful experience of connecting dots. I was invited a few days ago to a meeting of the Middle Nations group, which is an initiative of 3 groups, Denmark, Canada, and Australia, who explore the role of nations, which are neither big nor small, and how they may be a harmonizing agent in the international arena for the benefit of all, especially for the smaller nations. So I was struck by the quality of constructive harmony that I could call, that they hold in their shared space, which gives a taste of how it may one day feel in a future UN. So we are looking forward to their synthetic snapshot in one of the next meetings. We can recognize the great potential of group triangles. We would like to encourage a growing cooperation between groups, intergroup projects. And so also for us in the Nations Lab team, it's a special treat actually, this cooperation with the groups that are preparing a snapshot. Each time it's a precious opportunity. We enter into a field of creative tension, we could say, which may not always be easy or comfortable, but it's so valuable and so inspiring this to share these insights and see together in each other's presence ways forward, new ways. So this was also the case in the preparation with the US group. We can sense the consciousness of the nation through its group of best citizens. When the best citizens, when we become clearer and clearer in ourselves and in our work with our nations, then we become these clear channels somehow. So we can perceive through the best citizens the potential and also the friction points of a nation. So there's a lot of gratitude to each of us, elders in training, for our dedicated efforts to become ever clearer channels for our nation. Okay, so now our eyes turn to the group of best citizens from the USA, the Disciple USA, as they call it. We have here a special opportunity to learn from their quite rich way of working with the energy of synthesis. The group works along the line of the teachings of Lucille Cedercrans. And Lucille put special emphasis on the energy of synthesis and on the ashram of synthesis and on how to cooperate with the devas along the new line of synthesis. The concepts are a bit different here from the concepts that the Bailey teaching has. Maybe one important concept I want to highlight because it's really central and maybe unfamiliar to some of us, it is the cave. The cave in the Lucille teachings refers to a state of consciousness which is accessed when one focuses in the center of the head, approximately in the place of the brain cavity. So it's a location, but more than that, it signifies a state of consciousness, which DK calls sitting on the stool of the director, where land and water and air meet. It's the integrated personality that is soul infused. And this state of consciousness exists in the individual, but also in a group, and also in the psyche of a collective. So this is how the Lucille people use this term, and we will meet it in the meditation that they will lead. The state of the conscious soul incarnate. So this is a journey to learn to share our group with our group work with other groups. Okay, so we accommodate, in order to accommodate a little bit different way of working of the US group, we have also a bit of a different format. We will have 2 sharings. Yeah, but all the rest, the US group will explain by themselves. And I will just now lead us in a brief meditation to bring us all into the council chamber. Okay. So we stand in soul presence in the full moon energies. For a moment, touch base with our pinnacle overlooking our nation. Feel our love for it and also our freedom from it. Expanding now our identification into a planetary perspective, stepping into the function of an elder in training for the planet, being part of the one planetary server. And in imagination, letting ourselves now be drawn into the quiet and clear and spacious council chamber of elders in training. Place that we know already very well. Taking our places in geometric order. Sense the atmosphere in the chamber, the geometrical harmony. In the center of the chamber, we visualize the flame of our combined, sustained will to love. Tuning our hearts to it and holding together this space of intent, sustained love. And tuning now our minds into the mental space of the council chamber. A calm, clear, lighted space. We link with the devas who hold with us this dedicated space. Realize how it vibrates to the rate of the ajna center of the planet, connecting us with best citizens in all nations. As souls and as delegates of our nation, and as elders in training for our planet, we stand in shared group intent, awakening to the souls of our nations and assisting in the vision and process of uniting nations. coming into resonance with the higher co-workers who guide and support us in the nation's lab. And asking them to be with us in this session. We now prepare for our work on behalf of the nation of the United States of America. We visualize now the US group coming to the center of the council chamber around the central flame. Let us hold the council chamber vibration throughout our work today, as the members of the USA group will now take us into their work. Over to you, Deborah.
Thank you, Uta. Dear friends, elders in training, souls of our nations, we thank you. We are grateful for this opportunity to offer an updated snapshot of current conditions within the USA to be shared in the aura of synthesis. Key facts to consider today. The second ray soul of the USA carries the keynote, "I light the way." This is best accomplished when the US stands behind the one family of nations with an open heart, with unconditional love and selfless support. Her second ray soul is conditioned astrologically by Aquarius. The US was founded upon freedom, freedom of speech and freedom to practice one's religion. The US has a sixth ray personality. Importantly, as the sixth ray withdraws from incarnation at the end of the Piscean age, so too do the many sixth ray forms of social organization and governance upon which US society was built. Today, many forms and norms are rapidly collapsing. This collapse is amplified by the passage of the US through her astrological Pluto return. A Pluto return is a time of unearthing the once hidden shadow. This is a cycle of death and rebirth. The current administration perfectly reflects the US shadow. By withdrawing from treaties globally, cutting former partners and friends adrift into uncertainty and chaos, by waging unauthorized wars and committing war crimes, by disavowing science, by blocking access to medical remedies, by denial that carbon emissions contribute to climate change, by making healthcare unaffordable and unavailable for millions, by imposing tariffs that disrupt the global supply chain and make food and housing less affordable at home. By unapologetic lawlessness that threatens elections, immigration, and governance itself. By building massive detention centers to unlawfully imprison migrants and citizens alike. Geographically, the U.S. West Coast comprises a section of the great spinal column of the Americas, which is a channel for planetary kundalini. The flow within this channel is currently constricted by U.S. misalignment. This flow can be unblocked by lifting the U.S. solar plexus nature into the heart and lifting the sixth ray personality into the second ray soul. Finally, as the constitutional guardrails collapse, the saving force must be directed to and through the people of the USA via her second ray Aquarian soul. Karen?
Thank you, Deborah. How we work with synthesis energy. We work with the energy of synthesis because it synthesizes divine purpose with human need, which is important at this time of chaos and crises in our nations. It is a new energy, a new force, and a new substance, whose purpose is to build a new civilization as our institutions, governments, and the rule of law collapse in this time of transition into the Aquarian age. This image of the Taurus is an expression of the energy of synthesis. This energy synthesizes first, second, and seventh ray energies. It radiates and absorbs at the same time. Because of the radiating and absorbing nature of the motion of synthesis, the pairs of opposites, duality, and what appears as separateness are quickly synthesized into a whole. What was good and bad are wedded into a new state or condition, which is neither good nor bad, but simply an evolutionary movement. One of the effects of synthesis energy is rapid and radical change. It brings new understanding of the pairs of opposites and the polarization existing in our nations. We look for the right relationship of all apparently separated parts, so that which appears as false and unreal is seen as a facet of the many-faceted jewel of truth. The energy of synthesis reaches us from the avatar of synthesis, who releases it to the planetary logos and to the Christ. Then the Christ releases it to the new ashram of synthesis via Master M, DK, and R, who release it to the Deva of synthesis for distribution to humanity and into the Devic lives of the planet. The ashram of synthesis was formed in 1946 by Masters M, R, and DK to bring in the purpose which lies behind and implements the plan. The avatar of synthesis is an extraplanetary avatar, working in a triangle with the planetary logos and the Christ to facilitate the acceleration of the reappearance of the Christ and the externalization of the hierarchy. This brings spirit directly into matter. Subsequently, these masters created the Deva of synthesis to receive and embody the new intentions of the ashram of synthesis. Our group offers a weekly meditation to align the USA with the divine plan. The main steps of our meditation work are in 3 parts: council observation, 1, council observation, 2, establishing Davic relationship, and 3, directing the energies. Council observation. We practice as observers in a council forum that precedes our meditation. We invite all of you to be observers in our council forum today. To prepare ourselves, we look at the U.S. as it is today and ask, how do you perceive, 1, the conditions in the country which may be affecting you in some way? 2, the aspirations and vision you observe arising within the people of the USA. In our observation of the conditions, it is important to identify with and have a felt sense of the essential forces that may be in opposition. We understand that the energy of synthesis will resolve and absorb the pairs of opposites into a new state of being. And we accept that we embody both the problems and solutions on behalf of humanity, and can bring forward solutions with the aid of the synthesis energy and the focus of directed purpose. Establishing Davic relationships. It is important to receive our group observations and form a collective intent in our minds to impress upon the Deva of our nation a new directed spiritual purpose the Deva can receive and embody. In our cooperative, co-creative work with the Devas, they provide the intelligent substance, and we provide the will or focused intent to impress on the Devas in building the new forms. In meditation, as group consciousness, we create a magnetic relationship between the Deva of synthesis and the Deva of the U.S. We call upon the Deva of the U.S. to awaken and align with the divine plan. We align with and call upon the Deva of synthesis, the precipitating agent of the divine plan, to transmit the new frequencies and energies that absorb the conditions and radiate the synthesis to and through the Deva of the U.S. via the conscious soul incarnate of the group. We hold our collective intent within our group soul. Directing the energies. We then prepare to receive the energy of synthesis and the collective intent imparted to the Deva of the U.S. We direct these energies through our group ajna and radiate them to where they can do the most good according to the group's observations. We visualize and direct the energies to the anchor point of synthesis energy via the mountain of Long's Peak in Estes Park, Colorado. From this anchor point, we distribute the energy through the 3 higher centers of our nation: the head center in Washington, D.C., heart center in Southern California, and throat center in the Pacific Northwest, which includes Washington and Oregon State. These centers were designated by Master R in the Cedercrans work. We then visualize and direct the energy to the centers of synthesis present and emerging within all of our nations, including those we believe are now existing along the spinal column of the west coast of all the Americas. After our meditation, we share our impressions. Over to you, Deborah.
Thank you, Karen. So welcome back, everyone. Before we begin the meditation proper, as Karen mentioned, we first come together as a community of observers around and within the fire of synthesis, which is the fire of the one life. Then in council, we identify conditions of separatism within our nation, which exist in ignorance of the one life. Next, we identify and elevate the aspirations of the people that embody the path of return to the one life. So now let's do this together. Let's gather around the fire as a council. Now, as the observer, look out and notice what specific condition of misalignment in the USA you find most unsettling. Find that unsettling condition and make a note of it. Notice how this condition stimulates our own astral and mental reactivity. Notice where this condition in the US finds a reflection in our own shadow nature. Take note of that. Now, from within this condition, where our own shadow meets the shadow of the USA, raise your own consciousness up into soul neutrality. In this activity, each of us assumes responsibility for holding up to the light a particular illusion, glamour, or maya to be deconstructed and synthesized. Now, we're going to deposit these observations into a group chalice to be offered up to the energy of synthesis in the pending meditation. Give this condition you've observed a name in a word or short phrase. If you wish to share your observed condition, please raise your hand, unmute, and speak it into the group and into the group chalice. Andrea.
Fear of scarcity.
Beautiful. Thank you. Margot.
Greed for minerals, materials, and greed for more wisdom and light.
Thank you. Francis.
Domination of the other.
Oh, yes. Putting that into the chalice. All of it. Oh, Francis, yes, you. Who else? Maria.
Yeah, Christina here. Cultural divisiveness. A melting pot or not melted, a salad not tossed. Cultural divisiveness.
Cultural divisiveness. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Who else wants to share a condition to put into the chalice to be transmuted?
An old thought form of manifest destiny acted out as aggression and lawlessness.
Yes. Thank you, Barbara. Definitely aggression and lawlessness. Dacia.
Inhumane treatment of others.
Yes.
Inhumanity, yeah.
Thank you. Kathy?
Disregard of honored agreements.
Oh, yes. Catherine?
Legislature afraid to take a stand.
Thank you. Uta?
Impunity.
Yes, thank you. Heido? Did I say it right?
It's Heido.
Heido. Yes.
The idea that we are separate.
Yes.
All lack of the idea of oneness and unity.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, one more, because now we have a second part to the observations. Francis, you have another one?
Yeah, one quick. Denial of the collective good.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely.
In the chat, there is one.
The chat. Let me see.
Graziana in the chat wrote nazionalismo extremo. I understand it's extreme nationalism.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Very much a 6-3 personality shadow. Thank you for that. Now, what you have contributed is in a singular chalice, providing substance we will take with us into meditation. But before we do, now we want to fill a separate yet complementary chalice as we observe what are the highest aspirations of the people of the USA. Where do you see not only the existence of the highest aspirations, but also see it manifesting now in outer behavior? So go into your heart and to your ajna and observe these aspirations. Name them. And if you wish to share them and deposit them into the group chalice, please do so. Raising your hand as before. Kit?
Yes, liberty and e pluribus unum, out of the many, one.
Yes. And do you see that manifesting in the outer world? Do you see?
Well, okay, yes, because I see it in actually all the groups that are coming together and forming and, forming to either resist or hold a new ideal from the current ideals or actions of the current administration.
Thank you, Kit. So please energetically deposit that into the chalice of aspirations. And
I see cooperation through this resistance and an opening to the New World Order, the embracing of this by many, many citizens coming together, not only within the US, but also influencing a global cooperation towards that new frequency.
yes, thank you, Anne. Francis.
Rejuvenation of the principle that a democracy for the people must be truly by people.
Yes, thank you. Who else would like to share aspirations to place into the chalice? Maria Christina, do you have your hand raised?
Yes, I see many reaching out to each other, searching for the new, wondering, expectant, and recognizing that we stand together and the need to stand together in this search as we move forward into the next step.
Beautiful, thank you. Kit?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't lower my hand. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Okay, there's a new one from Lorraine in the chat. Citizen courage, responsibility, and leadership. Citizen courage. Yes. And recognizing from Natalie that Mother Earth is suffering and needs love. And from Jillian, many American people desire peace and justice. Thank you, Gillian. Thank you.
Deborah, Rob is unmuted. I believe he wants to share.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I couldn't see it.
Recollection by the nation of the courage within.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob. Maybe one or two more and we'll go into meditation. Oh, I do. Solidarity. Yes, thank you. Rob?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I'd like to offer the recognition that the hearts of the people are good. And as we, the people, opening to stand behind the one family with an open heart, with unconditional love and selfless support, the keynote of the nation.
Thank you, Jonathan. And Kit had one more. I'm trying to scroll to. Kit, you want to just unmute?
Yes.
And thank you.
Yes, that many people are working together to ensure free and fair elections, which are under attack now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay. I think that we have quite a bit of substance in each chalice to bring and carry with us into the meditation. And for those, again, who may need to see the text of the meditation to be able to follow it better, it is now being put into the chat for you. And I would like to call upon Lyrita now.
Thank you,
To
Deborah.
take us through. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let us prepare for meditation, and let us take our placements as before in the council chamber as delegates of our nations, and focus the consciousness in the cave, in the center of the head, as the seat of the director, in the center of one's being, identifying as the conscious soul incarnate. Link up with one another to form a center of spiritual soul consciousness, incarnate within the body of humanity. Via the head center, align with the ashramic focal points, the masters M or Moria, R Rakotsi, and DK Jwalkul. And via that focal point, with the higher triangle, the planetary logos, and the avatar of synthesis, and the Christ. On behalf of the best citizens and discipleship group for the United States of America, we take our place within the causal sphere, the ashramic workspace of the ashram of synthesis. Merge with the overshadowing spiritual soul of the nation, and as the consciousness of all people of the United States of America. We recognize the Deva of the United States, as the instrument of the spiritual soul. And call forward the head, heart, and throat centers of the nation to awaken, to become receptive to and receive the energies of the divine plan for Aquarius. We align with and call upon the Deva of synthesis to transmit the new frequency and energies that absorb and radiate the synthesis to and through the Deva of the United States via the conscious soul incarnate within the cave of Disciple USA. Now, via the Ajna Center, bring into view the condition of the life and affairs of all people in and of this nation. Observe the interplay of energies and forces that have created the heresy of separatism. Observe the interplay of light and dark in opposition within the one life. Recognizing the condition is a result of the working out of divine law and order. Visualize a line of light from the center of the sphere of blue-white Christ light to the condition with which we are concerned. Thus, establishing the perfect alignment between spirit and matter, and between purpose and appearance. Now, gather the highest aspirations of all the people into a consolidated demand and united invocative appeal for a new state of being and a new way of living. Hold this invocative appeal up to the higher alignment for divine guidance, purpose, and manifestation. Prepare to direct the motion of synthesis from the causal center to and through the Deva of the United States. Identify with the synthesis of consciousness as a new state of being arising in the cave of humanity. Contemplate the reestablishment of divine law and order in the center we call the human race. Sound this law for the Deva of the nation in the ashram as a new intent. Let the consciousness of all people of the nation identify as sovereign souls within the one humanity by lifting free of attachments to opposites in the form world of appearances and move into our capacity for cooperative leadership. As the conscious group soul within the cave, see and sense a column of clear golden white light flowing from the higher triangle, transmitting the energy of synthesis throughout the entire alignment. Direct the energy of synthesis to absorb the condition of opposites and radiate their synthesis in consciousness and substance by lifting humanity into a new state of being. sound a silent Om. We unite with all people of the Americas and rededicate our continents to the service of the divine plan. We affirm the intent of Disciple USA to light the way toward a synthesis of human consciousness, seeding the divine plan for the new civilization in divine law and order. Envision the United States becoming a true and trusted center of spiritual light within the world of affairs, and sound the Om. Relax the effort for a few moments, but retain the focus. Invoke, via the higher alignment, the precipitating energies of the divine plan. Recognizing the reception of such energies, send them via conscious projection to and through all of those disciples and groups in the world, specifically related to the function of group leadership in the nations, to manifest new centers of synthesis in each one of our nations in divine law and order. Sound the Om. Om. Invoke the precipitating energies of the divine plan as before, and project them to and through your own spiritual soul. Your threefold instrument, your environment, to manifest your right place and function in right relationship to all other functions within the overall world group in divine law and order. Recognize yourself as a center of spiritual light within the group life and affairs. Radiate light, love, and power to all those who can receive it and benefit by it. And together, again, we sound the Om. Om. So let it be in divine law and order. Take a deep breath. Relax the attention and return to normal focus.
Thank you, Larita. And thank you all. Welcome back to normal focus. We're going to go into what we call sharing impressions now. This is the final phase of our process where we share impressions from the meditation itself. And if we have time today, after we share these impressions, we may collate them into a group seed thought we can all use as we continue our meditation on world conditions. So it would be helpful to the group if, when you share your experience and your impressions of this meditation, whether you noticed a shift during the meditation. Did you experience, for example, a shift in your ability to feel causal to the unpleasant, unredeemed conditions? Did you feel more causal? And secondly, did you possibly experience a shift about what is possible when using synthesis energy? And finally, were there any so-called aha moments you would like to share? What did you notice?
One thought, this is Jonathan in Portugal, and that was a recognition of the incoming generations, the young ones, the Aquarian souls coming in, grateful for the work of this council work in these in the Nations Lab, who can receive this energy and benefit from it.
Thank you, Jonathan. Other impressions from your experience of this meditation? Judy.
For me, there was an overriding sense of goodwill that synthesis helped to bring to we the people. And so with that goodwill, there was a feeling of positiveness in moving forward, which was very different from the beginning of the heavy-weighted things that are within the nation itself. So it really was a change and an energy to move forward together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Judy. Moving forward together. And prior to the meditation, we gathered the conditions and the aspirations into distinct chalices. And during the meditation, worked with them, worked with that substance. So what did you notice about that process? Anyone?
Yes, Margot here. I noticed transmutation. Not yet transfiguration, but transmutation.
Uh-huh. Okay. And was it palpable, or was it substantive for you? Was it energetic?
It was subtle and energetic. Subtle and energetic, and yet filaments of will descending into the people.
Mm-hmm. The will descending into the people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the will to good.
Beautiful. Thank you, Margot. Oh, Sabina.
Yeah, I would like to share a vision I had, and I want to thank you, OS Group, for this very, very skilled and high methodological technique of meditation you shared with us. So while being led through the meditation, there was forming a kind of like a kasbah or a very future city, or something like that. And it was like a celestial architecture started to build up and to work, and like a preparation for something which wants to precipitate downwards. And what came to me is a sentence from, I think it's Johannes Evangelium. I don't know how you say in English, from the Bible, where Jesus says, the Christ says, there is in the house of my Father, there is many flats, many places, yeah.
Many mansions, yes.
Thank you. And it was like if this US soul in collaboration with the Deva and the synthesis energy is really preparing on a subtle level a new house with place for everybody, and it is an Aquarian house in my reception, and though it is like the vision of the house for the human family, which will work in a total different way like it is working now. And this led me to the Cancer sentence that says, I'm building an enlightened house and I live in it, and I would like to add, and I invite all brothers and sisters to share with me. So this is a very, very great vision. And I'm sorry I cannot so precisely answer to your questions, but for me it was a really new aspect of the large and great ability and the housework, the homework, how you say, the duty, the project which is being prepared. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sabina. And the U.S. does have a sun in Cancer. So truly, when it sheds some of the sixth ray militancy, you will see emerging more of the mother and the house. Thank you for that. Rob and then Francis.
This is Rob. I was struck by how consciously occult the meditation was. Using Sabine's word, the architecture was compelling. It's also completely different to the way that the Australian group has been working. I would like to listen again and to think very carefully about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, and the Australian group. Francis.
Yes, one impression I had was that in our meditations, we regularly do, and we focus on the second ray soul of America and America's motto that I light the way. And I think we can all acknowledge that there are elements and activities, actions taking place from our country now that are dimming that light. However, those negative elements are being overridden by the collective goodwill and collective conscious radiation of energies that groups like ours are doing to maintain the brightness in that light and to never give it up.
Thank you.
I would like to add on this what Francis said. I also was in the meditation contemplating the keynote of the US. I light the way, and what DK said, this is best accomplished when the soul of the USA stands behind the one family of nations with an open heart, with unconditional love and selfless support. So I had this image of the USA as maybe a loving mother or father, a loving parent that gives of her wisdom now and shines the way from behind, gives the light to the younger ones or the smaller ones so that they may grow, that they may be strengthened by the experience, the success, also the resources of the US, and let them free to go on their way and support them from behind. This was quite a strong experience.
Thank you, Uten. I believe we're out of time. Is that correct? You
Yes,
had
yeah,
a closing statement, so I turn it back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, US group, lighting the way, having given us a lot to contemplate and maybe try out. For our Nations Lab here, as it stands, we do not have a group confirmed for our next session. There are a few candidates, but it's nothing yet clear in terms of the dates. So we invite groups, whoever would be ready to jump in on the 31st of March or any other date after that. Yeah, that's what I have in terms of announcements. Thank you very much again. And I give it over to Alexander. Are there any more announcements?
I see there are more people who wants to share, and it was quite a rich meeting. And I don't have any specific announcement, just inviting us to staying together and recognize what is our capacity and what is our role at this time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so over to you, Sabine, to do our wrap-up meditation. And see you all next month.
Yeah, dear friends, dear elders in training, allow me now to invite us all together to a contemplative closing of our very rich, very wide spacey meeting of today. Let's take a deep breath and let us concentrate once again on the Christ Avenue, this vertical channel we are building and holding together, where the synthesis energy and the saving force may flow. As elders in training, we are sitting once again in our quiet and clear space of the council chamber, our workspace, and our temple. Sitting around the fire, the bright flame of our combined and sustained will to love, our will to unite. Let us visualize and sense this flame of our united will in our hearts, in our minds, and in the heart and in the Ajna center of our planet. Let us now all together imagine the avatar of synthesis becoming a strongly blowing wind. And we imagine us becoming a fire of countless flames, growing as the one uniting fire inside the one planetary server. It is said that the avatar of synthesis will come when he becomes aware of the vibrating quality of the small point of light that is our planet within the solar sphere. He will then cast his power upon this point of light so that cosmic evil will be driven out and find no longer place on earth. And so may it be.